Hey, what's going on? How's it going? What do you identify as?
What?
What do you identify as?
Why would you ask me that?
Because I need to know before I talk to you how I should refer to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to a different store.
Okay. I can tell you right now, if I walked into a woman's bathroom, like the way that I am right now, and I just pissed in the toilet with the door open, you think I'd get kicked out? Let that answer your question. I always want to keep starting off like that.
Hey, everybody!
What is going on? How's everybody? This is 1.
4!
All right, you forgot the numbers, but that's that.
I was bracing myself because I was leaning forward.
1.
4!
There it is. Okay. So, for those of you that have watched the last video, we didn't really get a lot of flack. You guys have to understand that when we discuss and we have these discussions, we really wanted to have a platform to where we can express how we feel and tell you our opinions based off of what we say. And we're going to do that again today. Now, that is not the only type of things we're going to do on this channel. As I had mentioned, she's getting excited to go back to go get it. As I had discussed in the intro video, that there are going to be a wide array of different things you're going to see on this channel. It's more like a variety entertainment type of thing. We're going to do the snacks, the foods. Go ahead. Did you want to go get the thing?
Honestly, I was going to turn off your fan.
Why, is it cold?
It's going right into my eyeballs.
Right into your eyeballs. There you go. You should be good now.
So I moved back. I was like, I need his body to block this barrage of contact abuse.
So I can promise you there's no abuse here. If the fan is abusing her, that has nothing to do with me. So we got, I don't want to really give it away, but we got some really crazy things that should not be a thing.
I'm so excited. It took me forever to find fun stuff.
Tell them about some of the ridiculous stuff we've found without giving away too much.
Okay.
All right.
Can we still turn off the fan?
The problem is you like an 87.
It goes into my eyes.
How about that?
That's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I'm not a doctor, but I thought it'd be fun to be one. So we got something to practice on if we ever wanted to practice doctoring, which is fun. We also got something that electrocutes you for fun to make you look younger, which we obviously need. And we got some...
Carry on. I'm going to let that one slide. Go ahead. So I look old as shit, so I need to be electrocuted. Got it. Okay. Go ahead.
We got delicious sodas that are very specific with their flavorings. We got bugs.
Okay, we don't want to give away too much more stuff because we don't want to. We have some things that you would never see somebody do a review on.
Did you know you could order live animals on Amazon?
She wanted to order hermit crabs.
Okay, I want to see if they came here alive, and then I wanted to set up their little hermit crab nest.
What do you do with them when you're done with the review of the live animal?
Love them.
No.
We could get them different shells. We could paint them together.
No, I got it. I do. I understand it. But we're not going to have live animals. But the mask she's talking about, I'm really interested in because she said she was interested in trying it out. It basically goes over your face and it has metal prongs that attach to your face and electrocute you.
Minorly. It's not like a. It's like a.
It's electrocution. I don't think it matters whether it's. Think of a TENS unit, right? Those of you that know what a TENS unit is, they're like little things you put on your body, and when you have muscle spasm, or muscle spasms, plural, they put these on here and they kind of like electrocute you. When you saw those little fake ab things that give you abs by electrocuting your stomach that don't work.
Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted one.
Right, but it's one of those as seen on TV's bullshit jammies. Right. Okay. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about today is extremely controversial. And, okay, so we've been watching a person by the name of Blair White. Not related, I hope, indirectly to Blair Witch.
Or Walter White.
Who the hell is Walter White?
There's a show called Breaking Bad where they make meth blue. And the guy who was like in charge of the meth making process.
Sure.
His name is Walter White.
Okay, I don't think this person is related to Walter White, but anyway, on my other channel, I've gotten into this with a lot of people, right? So here's my idea of transgenderism. First off, if you haven't seen this chick, which was previously a dude, if you haven't seen their videos, I'm going to put a link in the description. Absolutely amazing. Me and this transgender woman, or is it a transgender man?
No, trans woman, I think.
Trans woman who used to be a male is now a female, and a very attractive one. Very, very attractive. And I could say that because it doesn't bother me to say that. Like, it is what it is. But they believe a lot of the same things that I believe. And it's refreshing to see somebody that is that outspoken as a trans. And the way that I look at it, and Bree's going to speak on this a little bit too, is when I think of a trans, right? Whatever you want to be, fine. That's your life, okay? I'm not going to tell you whether it's wrong or right. But when I start to have a problem is when you tell me what I have to call you. That's where I start to, well, I also have the discrepancy of, like, when my daughter was in school, she had to share a bathroom with, let's just say, a boy that wanted to be a woman today, was able to go into that bathroom as a woman, but clearly look like a boy. And that's another problem I have. But the problem I have is when we're raised, right? You're raised that a boy has a penis and a woman has a vagina. Or a girl, right? Like, that's what you're raised. So if I see something that looks like a dude, and you want to be a trans woman, you can't be upset that I don't call you a she. That's a big problem for me. Now, there is a video where she talks about the exact thing I'm talking about. I don't know if it was, I think it was when she talked to Ben Shapiro, and she was mentioning how there's a lot of men out there that want to be women or claim to be women, but they don't look like it, and then they get upset when men don't call, or even women don't call them she's.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Well, if you
talk about it. Don't remember. Don't hold back. However you feel is how you feel.
Well, I mean, if you look like a woman, I'm gonna call you she. If you look like a dude, I'm gonna call you he. Not because I'm assuming your gender roles, just because that's what you look like. Like, if you, like, Blair White is a fantastic example. She does her hair.
Extremely attractive.
Yeah, she does her hair. She does her makeup. She talks. She dresses like everything presents womanly, and she looks like a classy lady. But
Absolutely.
She still even has her own old stuff going on. But she presents herself as she has fake boobs too. Like, she looks nice, and if we saw her, we would call her a she.
Absolutely. Even knowing that we know her, I mean, I can't speak for you, but even knowing that we know that she has a penis, when you see this person,
you would never ever guess.
There's no way you would know. There's no way you would know. And she makes it a very good point that the reason why she didn't get the surgery, I don't know if you saw that video, but the reason why she didn't get the surgery is just because she doesn't feel that there's a need. If that makes sense. I don't want to paraphrase her situation. Like, you have to be careful about what words you use now. You have to call people by certain pronouns. We have to make sure we don't say certain words because they offend somebody. Like, the other day, someone had messaged me about something that offended them on a Facebook group. I don't know where we're at, where we're so concerned with how people feel, right? Like, if you're a transgender and you're transitioning into a man, how come you don't ever hear about the trans men having these issues? Like, for instance, you saw the GameStop one. The one where, where it's...
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. You want to talk about an embarrassment to your community, right? Like, I'm talking to the transgenders if you watch this, and if not, whatever. Now, keep in mind, what we're talking about is our opinion. It's not factual. The way that you feel about it may be totally different, and that's fine. That's whatever works for you. But the one that was in GameStop where it was like, I'm a she, but it looked like a dude. And I even think the person behind the counter was, like, giving in to them. Like, saying, okay, I got it, ma'am, I got it. And then he was like, or no, the GameStop, the person heard it as man instead of ma'am.
Oh.
So they lost their shit. because you have long hair and lipstick on, in my mind, that doesn't make you a woman. Back in my day, okay, back in the 90s, if you did that, you were what you called a transvestite or a drag queen. But you can't go around calling people drag queens because for whatever reason, that's negative.
I don't know why. They look fabulous.
They do. They have great makeup. Great makeup. Yeah. What about... So the LGBTQ plus binary thing have all abbreviations. That's theirs, right? Why is it that you like to give us abbreviations? For instance, I've heard this saying before. Jay, you're a typical cis male. So let me get this right. You want to address me as an abbreviation that you came up with. So first off, I fit into your bracket of alphabet letters, right? Yeah. Right? So now I'm in your bracket. So don't talk shit because I support your community because I'm part of it, right? I'm a cis, which is basically like a biological male or female. So she would be a typical cis female. But why do you have to have labels?
Yeah, why not just female?
Why can't it just be fucking? Why do you have to give us a label? Like, we don't want to be a label. Guy comes in from Georgia. Big fan of mine. Okay, drives, what do you say, 14 hours?
Yes.
14 hours to talk to me. He's from the South. Big, black, burly dude. Dude, big. Like a big dude. Not fat, like big. Like he will kick your ass. Okay, and we're talking about black and white. And we're talking about labels, right? Because black people got labeled by white people, right? Like that's what they did. They had their name. That's not saying that white people weren't labeled, and I don't want it to seem like bigotry or I support other races and I don't support my own. I'm across the board. I feel like treat people how you want to be treated. It's that simple. Like, that's it. And that even goes with the whole name. I'll call you by your name, but I'm not going to call you a pronoun that you feel comfortable with. That doesn't work for me. It's just like calling me a typical cis male. How about just a male? And why is there a typical, again, with the labels? How do you feel about that, Brie?
And if you feel like that we're talking about you, we're not. We're not singling out anybody. We're just talking about a topic. If you take it as we're addressing you, you're crazy.
That's right. Or we are talking about you. Like
now they're gonna be like,
no, hold on. Or if you feel like you fit in this bracket, you probably are. like I'm gonna take a different approach to what she's saying. We're not targeting anybody specifically, but let me give you a better reference. If we're gonna put targets on people, look up the Blair White, Jessica Yaniv thing. That is a great example. That is Blair White that I don't want to say is attacking a person, but this person is a very manly looking whatever it is that they think they are. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
The Jessica Yaniv with the blonde hair.
He thinks that he's 5 years old.
Right? No, that's a different one.
Okay.
But this guy, and I'm gonna call him a guy. I don't give a fuck. He's got the hair, got the lipstick, going around saying he's getting his period.
Oh,
listen to me.
My gosh.
Listen to me. You're not getting your period. Just shut off. You don't have a uterus to get a period. And then even then, your brain, as much as you like to believe whatever it is you are today, your brain isn't just you don't even have ovaries. Like, even if you got ovary implants and a uterus, you're not gonna just have your period. But then this Jessica Yaniv person is talking about, oh, I got my period, and shows a tampon and a maxi pad.
What? Okay, I have not seen this. No way.
What
did she do?
Dude, I'm not even. I would show her right now.
Finger and
No.
Wait.
No. Apparently, this person said, but then that's the one. You got to watch it. It's like an hour-long video, and it's intense, man. It is. But Blair White, who is a legitimate trans woman, legitimately. I cannot press how attractive this trans is. I can't. Even the hand gestures. It's that 19, 20-year-old.
She's
no, you didn't.
It's cute.
No, you didn't.
It's cute.
It is. And it's very, very feminine. It's very attractive. And the point I'm trying to make is that I don't have a problem calling that a female. And Ben Shapiro even goes on with this chick and talks, and they have a legitimate conversation about their disagreements. And she brings up a very valid point about what I'm saying of how men that want to be a female today that don't even take any steps to do that. Just wearing lipstick does not make you a female. And maybe because it's I have kids, or, you know, I had younger children to where they had to be subjected to that and had to be careful about how they had to, and it's not even labeling somebody, I guess it is, calling them a he or she.
I don't know. I feel like that's something that's just instilled in everybody at a young age. Like, this is the girls' side, this is the guys' side, this is the girls' locker room. Like, there's different rooms for different sexes on purpose from a young age to keep them separated.
You have people like Fallon Fox, right? MMA fighter that was a man that transitioned into a female. And then she got into a ring with another female and literally broke their skull and almost killed the female. That should not be allowed.
That's not cool.
I don't give a shit what you believe or what you think you are. That is a great example as to bad. I was reading an article about a girl that was like all-star, like really good, biological female born, but, or maybe it was biological male, whatever, it's not the point. The point is that she was really upset because she lost her title to a boy that transitioned into a woman.
Oh, I remember that.
And that, dude, stop.
That's not cool.
Like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you one better. Have a female transition into a man and put him on a football field.
Or try to compete in any male sport.
Oh, absolutely. Watch what happens. Watch.
It's not about men being better than women or anything. It's just we're built differently. That's why there's different classes of these sports in the first place.
And there's different weight classes. And there's different... There's so many things that factor in, especially...
Like the size of your hand?
Like physical contact. Like, let's just say I was the same height as Brie. I'm going to be stronger because men are built to move things. That's what we are. But you don't see any females going into male sports and kicking ass. Now, I know someone's going to link it. Oh, here's a link to that. Bullshit. Listen. The fact remains is that this is why it irritates me, is because now you're trying to push your belief of what you think you are or who you are onto other people and forcing them to adhere to your rules.
When I was younger, I wanted to play football. I didn't want to be a cheerleader because I didn't want to be a girly girl. Now that's totally changed. My chair is pink. Anyway, I wanted to play football, and they were like, no, you can't play football because you're a girl. And I was like, well, I'm going to play football. And then they were trying to convince me to not play football because it was a manly sport.
Your parents or the school?
Everybody.
Okay.
Like, everybody was against this. And then they forced me into cheerleading instead by saying that I couldn't physically keep up with the men.
Sure.
So then I was a cheerleader for the dudes instead, which is totally fine. That worked out. But I mean, it's like a phase kind of type of thing, in my opinion.
Bree had mentioned this, where it was a matter of people doing it to feel included. You could explain it better than me.
To be a part of something. Like you do this to belong with these people, but you don't change anything about yourself. Like, if you confronted this type of individual about this, they wouldn't stand up for what they believe in because they don't. They're just doing it to be along with everyone else. Now, if you went up to an actual transgender person and started to argue with them, they'd argue back to stand up for their rights and their point and everything, which is fine. But someone who's just doing it just because, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, you know, and that brings up another point. I hate to keep bringing up Blair White. Like, I really do, but made a very solid point that she's never experienced someone walking up to her and judging her as a transgender. Do you know why? Because she doesn't look like a man. You see? Like, the thing is with Jessica and Yaniv, this is the person that sued. What?
Isn't that the 50-year-old dude?
No, Jessica Yaniv is a person...
I feel like I need to see who this is. Can we...
Yeah, so this person sued a bunch of places in Canada because they refused him service because he wanted his balls waxed. This is a real story. He wanted his balls waxed, and the people that were doing the waxing were like, we do women here. And he's like, I am a woman. No, you're not. You have balls.
I don't know how to wax that.
I'm not gonna wax that. And then this person went out and sued these people, and they got unemployed. They lost their jobs.
That's not fair.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just because they don't know how to wax balls?
Yeah. Well, not even that. They just refuse the service.
But I mean,
because
I don't. Would be hard.
Because
it's all wrinkly. Yeah, it's like a 50-year-old dude.
Yeah, but the problem is I'll provide a link to the video I'm talking about, and when you watch this, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see this is just terrible, absolutely terrible that people have lost their jobs because this person, okay, I didn't want to say any names, but we're already here, so whatever, but this person is going out and telling people, listen, you wax, I identify as a woman. And because they're in Canada, apparently to identify as a woman, you just fill out a form.
What?
That's it. Today I'm a woman. That's it. You fill out a form.
Now I know that they say that they identify as this from birth, but when you're 4 or 5 years old, you're not thinking about male and female. You're thinking about cookies and if you want to go hang out at the park. Like you're not thinking about sex until maybe you're like 8 or so when you start to realize that there's differences between men and women.
When she's saying sex, she's talking about the gender.
Yeah, the gender.
Gender. Yeah, I think it's around 10 or 11, but yeah, it's same point. And again, look, the two of us look at Blair White as a woman. It's that simple. The way she talks, the way she acts.
The way she dresses, everything.
Everything aside from just the appendage. And I will be the one to tell you that if you have a penis, you're a male. But if you're presenting yourself and I don't see your penis, I'm going to go by the next best thing, and that's your looks. If I believe in God, right, and I have a religion, for me to push that belief onto you is wrong. It's wrong. It is. Especially if you have your own belief. Right? If you ask me, what do you believe in? That's a different story. But even then, I'm not pushing it on you. I'm just telling you what I believe in.
You're not walking up to people and being like, I believe in God.
Right. I'm a dude today. Oh, okay. All right. Great. Well, you look. And I'm not going to lie to you. I really don't know a lot of females that have transitioned into males that don't appear to look like
a dude.
Right.
Yeah, like they cut their hair, they lose their breasts.
Right. It's typically the male to a female is when it's just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's like they don't, no offense, it's like they don't try. Like they don't really care enough.
You guys have to look up this Jessica yaniv. You really, really need to. Like, it's gonna blow you away. No way. Like, I know that this video is gonna offend people. I don't care. Wait till you see the race one. Wait. Go ahead.
For like transitioning from a male to a female, we're not saying you gotta go get face surgery, you gotta go do this, you gotta go do that. It's not like that at all. It's do your makeup like a woman, do your hair like a woman, dress like a woman. Doesn't matter if you have boobs or not. A lot of women don't.
What about women that are transitioning, like you're saying, but they don't have the money to do the therapy, to do the voice, to do the surgery to look more, again, with that Jessica yaniv you just saw. What about someone like that where they don't, I don't know what their financial status is, but what if they don't have the money to do that and they want to be a woman?
That's what I was talking about, if they didn't have money. That you
don't
need
what if they have
surgery.
What if they have a real manly voice though when they open their mouth?
Practice. There's a lot of dudes that can talk like a chick. Jay can talk like he's gay.
Right.
I can't talk like a dude.
Right.
Hi, how are you?
But that's what I'm saying. What if you wanted to be a dude because that's your choice? But you don't have the chords or the pipes.
Practice. You can practice to talk like anybody. You can practice to speak with an accent.
And then one could argue and say, why would you need to practice if that's what you are?
Because that's what I was born
I'm
just
saying, if my argument against those people saying, well, I already was born a man or born a female. I just have everything else that's the opposite sex. Well, then maybe you weren't. You go to a strip club.
Yeah.
There's a transgender on the pole.
Leave. We went somewhere to eat, and there was a he-she waiting tables. Too far?
No.
Okay. Now, I say that specifically he, she instead of transgender because they did not care about anything.
Hair like a female.
Hair like a female, but only to like...
Go ahead.
Only to like here. And then they had it in a crappy ponytail that was falling off on the side. No makeup, no cute outfit, frumpalumps all over. The only reason...
Just not giving a shit.
Yeah, the only reason that you would know that it was a he, she was because of the bow in the hair.
And the makeup on the face.
But no, there was no makeup.
Lipstick.
Just lipstick?
Just lipstick.
Oh my god, what's that, $3?
Right. So, no, I agree. I 100% agree. But see that, how do you know what, like Louder or Crowder, when he did the thing where he was talking to the transgender, or the... Yeah, it was transgender, right? Like, changed my mind. And he said, how do I know what you are? And then the person he was talking to said, ask. Do you know how weird it is to walk up to somebody and say, hey, before we talk, what do you identify as? That's automatically insulting.
Yeah, that's like saying I can't tell.
Right, like that's... and then you could use the argument, well, Jay, well, I already know what you're going to say. Well, it's insulting that you assume what I am. So again... I have to go out of my way to make you happy. What perception is reality? What I perceive you to be is what you are. It's that simple. It's that simple. Regardless of whatever's in your crotch or what's in your body, what I see you as is what you are. You could call that jacked up. You could call that wrong. For instance, someone saw our last video.
Oh, no.
And saw that they took it as an approach on feminism, like our discussion about it. And me and Bree see eye to eye with a lot of this, just because we're very outspoken people. Whether someone agrees with it or not is... it's such a sigh of relief for me when I find a transgender that fits my cue. Like Blair White. It's such like a, oh, thank God I'm not the only one that feels this way.
Or when they're not like, I deserve to have these rights. I deserve to have this and that. They're like, I'm just a person, and I'm just changing who I am to feel like I am inside. Cool. But they're not demanding things from people. Like, they're not demanding, like Blair White, for example, she's not demanding things.
That's right.
Like, they're demanding certain things in a job, and certain things in this, and certain things in that.
Yep.
And that's ridiculous. Like, no offense, but there's only a certain amount of transgenders out there. Meanwhile, there's a whole lot of people in the world that are certain races that are still
black people. Black people. We're just going to say it.
Okay,
we're just going to say it. Black people. Okay? Look, if there's someone... Look, I don't want to get into this, but the argument she's posing is so fucking true. You can't use... It makes me emotional. That's not your battle as a transgender. There are literally oppressed people out there that have been judged for hundreds of years, right? And I'm not going to get into slavery and all this, because I hate that fucking argument. I hate it. My parents weren't slave drivers. My parents were from Hungary, right? Like they might have been hungry, but they and Greece, like that's my tradition. When I was talking to this black dude that came into the shop, I was very much unaware that there was that bad of racism down south. Like, I legitimately was. And I don't really want to touch on this because we will talk about that, but they have that argument of being oppressed or treated differently. I don't think so much now in 2019.
Yeah, but we just found out that it is like that.
Yeah, it is like. See,
up here, it's not like that at all.
Right. See, I'm from the Northeast, right? Then obviously you have the war, which is North versus South. North won, hence no slavery. But there still is a lot of negativity attached to black people, which is sad. We shouldn't. I guess you could use the argument to say, Jay, you shouldn't judge people by the way that they look.
That's what we're programmed to do.
We are.
Like, we don't watch TV to watch some frumpy fatty make jokes.
It's true.
Like, everyone on TV looks nice.
It's true. And you could use the argument as like, well, then why are you judging I'm saying, and their response to someone watching is, well, you're judging a transgender by the way that they look. I feel that that's a bit different because you're born one thing, but you're trying to be something else. Versus, let's just use black people. They're born one way, and that's just the way that they are. You see?
Yeah, they can't
Right. Accept me for who I am. No, that's not saying, look, that's not saying that there aren't Mexicans, that there's not Puerto Ricans, that there's not white people. That's not saying that there aren't other oppressed races, but racism only exists because we keep using it and keep bringing that word up. You let it go. I think it's much more looser now, but you have to be careful about what you say because you might offend somebody. Like when I was talking to that black dude that was in here, most people would say, Jay, you're being racist. But no, I wasn't. We had a good talk, and he's a good dude. Black, white, it doesn't matter. But the argument of I should look at you and then automatically assume that that's what you are because that's who you feel like on the inside. When you meet somebody and you want to date them and you want to knock the boots or have sex with them, do you know what they're like inside? No. When you look at a magazine of someone's side, you're like, man, I hit the shit out of that. You're not like, hey, so how do you feel on the inside? Are you sad today? Nobody gives a shit about what's on the inside. They care about what's on the outside. That's reality. That's not saying once you're in a relationship, all that matters. But the way that it is the way that we see something is the way that it is. Right? That's the saying. It is what it is. That's literally what it is. And it's like Dave Chappelle with Sticks and Stones. He got so much shit for that.
I loved it.
I loved it too. People use the argument as he was using a comedic platform to voice his opinions. Well, isn't that what a comedian does?
It's his job.
Right? Isn't that what he does? We're just not putting any comedy in it. We're just saying the way that we feel.
Plus, for the way that you look, if you care about yourself, other people will care about you because you present yourself in a certain way. If you look a mess, no one's going to care about you because you don't even care about yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree 100%. It's like homeless people, right? I watch a channel called Invisible People. Oh my God, I cry like every episode, like a baby back bitch. And I feel so bad for these people, but there are certain homeless people that do make up and like make up for themselves. And they say because they're so depressed and they're so sad, but that's the only thing that makes them happy. And you know, it's $3, $2. I know you could use the argument, well, it's a homeless person. If they have money to do that, they have money to get food. There's homeless people that have jobs that can't get off of the street. They just don't have it. But they present themselves like that. They're more approachable, you see, because of what we see. You're not going to look at them and look, I'm not saying that the way we are as humans is perfect. We judge by what we see. You see someone driving a piece of shit car, automatically you think, wow, they're broke. Right? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, or you see a dude wearing a miniskirt, you're going to be like, well, that's an odd choice. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, that's a woman.
Right.
Like, he has hair coming out of his butt crack.
And then you have to try to explain that to your child.
That's rough.
Right? Now you have to explain that to a 6-year-old. Daddy, what's that? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I got nothing. You're better off believing in Santa Claus.
Ask your teacher.
Yeah, let's see what your teacher tells you. Right? Like I don't know. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, just if you're going to put yourself out there, you guys really need to Google this Jessica Yaniv. If you like, this person was a part of a thing, okay. Where, okay, this is going to sound crazy. Guys, I'm not making this up.
I'm so interested because I don't know.
Where they were going to we'll call it a meeting or like a
brunch.
Like a concert, if you will.
Okay.
Or like a town hall.
Okay.
Not a town hall, like a meeting place. Like you go somewhere and everybody celebrates a party. And they they invited minors there that were transitioning. And the females that were transitioning to male, topless. That was part of either the requirement or something that you could do. And Blair White's argument was very solid, is that you're maturing, you have boobs, right? You shouldn't be able to do that. Like, that should not be a requirement. Whether that kid wants to do it or not, first off, is a minor. Like,
that's inappropriate.
You have to watch this video. Like, you have to watch this video. It's insane. That's where we're at with transgender. We're going to bring up all these different topics. We're going to talk about it. There's going to be other videos that are ridiculous, but there's going to be videos like this because this is how we feel, and we want people to know how we are as people. Put it all on the table, and then judge us. Say I'm a cis white male that's atypical, that, has feelings or is racist, whatever you want to label me as. I have no problem with that. Do you have a problem with people judging you?
No. But, so back to the thing. So, say, like, 15 years ago, if you thought that you were a different sex, you would go to the doctor. And the doctor would prescribe you medication to fix that. Because it's in your head.
It's medical.
It's medical. It is a medical illness. Like...
And those are facts, right?
Yeah,
like that is a factual...
Yeah, that's a fact.
Even now, they consider it a mental... Transphobia. No?
No, it's...
Transphobia is where you're scared of transgenders.
Something morphia.
Okay, so...
Anyway.
And then you have intersex. Which, you know what intersex is, right?
Were you a hermaphrodite?
No. Well, sort of, but intersex is you're born with both male and female hormones.
Okay, you know how often that actually happens?
So rare.
Maybe 1 in 40 million thousand trillion people.
Right, and
like,
then even then...
Happy example.
Even then, like, I don't know any people that are truly documented intersex, but there are. But even then, the people that are intersex that have proven it through medical documents on Twitter, on social media, they don't like to be part of that LGBTQ plus because it wasn't a choice. Like, I get it. You're saying that, you know, you're born gay, you're born a lesbian, whatever. But their argument is I didn't want any of this. I don't want this. I want to be one. Like, that's it. And that's different. I always took the approach of you never, ever, ever make fun of somebody for a mental or medical disability, like visually, you know, because a lot of disabilities are visually, you know, whether that be some type of incapacitation about the way that they talk.
Missing an arm.
Yeah, you never make fun because that's something that they cannot control.
Yeah, that's not fair.
The way that you look and the way that you talk is 100% something you can control. 100%. Whether it's for one way or it's the other way, you can control it. Absolutely. You could control the way that you look. You could train your vocal cords. You can. So don't give me that nonsense. That's the medical side of it.
Yeah, and back in the day, when someone was dressing like something else as a child, you were told that that was wrong. Nowadays, it's encouraged, and transgender parents are trying to have transgender kids. That's not your kid's view. Your kid is 3 years old in a stroller.
That's right.
Like, he has no choice in this matter. You're choosing it for him and projecting your own stuff onto him.
Sure.
Like, my brother wanted to dress in little girls' clothes because I had little girls' clothes, so he liked to wear those.
How did your parents feel about that?
They hated it. They stopped it. They stopped him from trying on my little outfits.
What would they have done if he continued to do it?
My dad would have beat him.
What if he just kept continuing?
He wouldn't have.
Like, there's a point where there's a point where, okay, I'm getting beat up every day. I can't do this no more.
Exactly. But nowadays, it's such a strong encouragement. Like, ooh, I'm going to look so cool in PTA with my trans kid.
Kid's choice. It's not your kid's choice. You're a parent. Parent your kids. Like, that's a whole nother story. Like that, I'm not even going to get into that because I feel... Joe Rogan did a video on this, and he showed something from, like, the Roman times about a Roman soldier who was transgender, for lack of better terms. Obviously didn't have the title for it, but was legitimately... So it does go back. But, look, there's even some countries where you can't even be gay. Like a lot of the Middle East. I'm not even going to tell you how that's punishable, but you can just take a guess. It's not a smack on the wrist. You got to go watch the Jessica Yaniv video.
I know. I have to go watch it. Oh, my gosh. It's so crazy.
Yo, you're going to lose your mind.
I did watch the period one, but it was just about a whole bunch of them having periods.
You've watched a lot of them. Did you watch one with Ben Shapiro, where she went back and forth with Ben Shapiro?
I don't know, maybe.
I'm gonna have to play it for you. You're gonna have a different mindset. You guys, listen, before you judge what I'm saying, listen to other people's things. You know, don't be... Look, you can have an opinion just like I can. Whether or not I want to hear your opinion will be whether or not I delete your comment.
Maybe if you identify as a woman, they'll listen.
So what if we just went a step further right now, at the end of this video, and said, you know what? Bree is a guy. and I'm a girl. What would you say to that?
It's what we identify as.
What would be your argument? If you're probably in that bracket, you're going to say that's okay. You could be that. Those are the same people that tell your kids that they can sing, and then when they get up on the old school America's Got Talent, and Simon Cowell says to them, who told you that you could sing? Your parents have lied to you. So if you want to lie to me and tell me that it's okay, well, I don't know about lie to me, but give me false hope. I can tell you right now, if I walked into a woman's bathroom, like the way that I am right now, and I just pissed in the toilet with the door open, you think I'd get kicked out? Let that answer your question.
Well, then you can sue.
Then I'll
Because
sue.
that seems like what everybody's doing.
I'm suing because I'm a woman. And I'm dressed like a dude. Got a goatee and everything. I don't know, I got nothing but love for drag queens. I absolutely love them. I love even when they have the beards and they do the makeup.
They put like little glitters in their beards. It looks super
just
cute.
Do it up, man. Do it up.
They wear bigger heels than I've ever seen.
Yeah,
too.
they
Like,
got
what?
the walk. They walk better than half the women I've seen. But that's another story in itself. You know you got a problem is when a man is pulling off being a better woman than some of you women out there.
Because he practices.
That's right. He got good at it.
Yeah.
So that's it. There's our take on transgender. There's going to be fun stuff, but there's going to be a lot of these heated debates for most of you watching, and you may not agree. But I really urge you to go check this person's channel out. It will be in the link down below.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Jayla.
1.
4.